Hello. Today's review, Cosmodread. I wish they had a title screen that I could Do I recommend it? I do. It's pretty fun. It's got a very nice little gameplay loop of like go out there, try and make your way back to Earth, and then either die and end up back here, or you succeed, technically still end up back here, because this is their introductory menu or whatever. But yeah, I recommend it, more so if it's on sale, because it is a little basic. The textures and graphics are a little simple, luckily readable. The world size is pretty substantial, and it's ever altering because it's a roguelike or whatever the fuck it's called. So let's show it off. When you're first starting, you get to pick something that hinders but also improves. If you have these unlocked, for whatever reason, all their little cheats just make the world harder, like broken minimap, very little ammo, great defense system, which for whatever reason targets you, even though, as far as I can tell, we're not a fucking monster. Yada yada, right? If you have the blueprints, you get to actually select your starting weapon. Personal favorite is the pistol. Personal least favorite, that piece of shit. So, an ever-present concern is oxygen, similar to Subnautica. Which, kind of a pain in the butt. So you can take basic resources, like this cup, and break it down in the fabricator, which we'll get to in a second. Okay, normally you don't deal with literally the biggest asshole swinging straight out of the gate. But this helps me demonstrate real quick. I've got it paused. So you can only kill monsters, like kill monsters, in the light. The UV light system, I guess, burns them away. And the atmosphere in this game is like so immaculate, because like even just out of the gate, I got into a dark room, 2 dark rooms, and had to kind of worry and wonder, am I going to survive? And thankfully I did, especially since that's like the biggest monster in the game, and I have like no ammo. So every time when you're walking through the dark, you're like, oh my god, what am I going to face? You luckily can take the batteries out and like take it from this room and put it into that room if need be. But then like when we get to this room, it might also be dark, so now we have to go that much further back to actually kill the monster, unless we can loot whatever we need and immediately leave. But it just like, it makes the walking sim part a little eerie, because I'll admit this is a bit of a walking sim, a bit of a wander for the next 5 minutes to get to the very end of one tunnel so that you can grab all the stuff you need and bring it all the way back to the fabricator, because there's only one fabricator, which is a slight problem in my opinion. Kind of wish there was a way to get back faster, because you do get a teleporter at one point, but it's literally at random. I think it's mostly designed to be like triggered and then thrown at an enemy because you want them to fuck off. But because it goes at random and you never know where they're gonna land, that is probably an incredibly risky thing to do. The batteries too. Batteries come in maximum of 3 charges, as low as 0 charges, obviously. And these are in itself an entire puzzle as to what do you do. Do you take it out and move it to the next room so that you can kill the enemies there? Do you take it, throw it in the fabricator so it has power so that you can fabricate? Do you what do you do, right? What do you do? Sorry, just gotta look and collect. So, yeah. It's a really fun game. We're gonna get to that fabricator, don't you worry. There is a variety of enemies from small spider things. Here, let's show them off. So this is the legendary fabricator. They really could have did better on this. I'm not gonna lie. This is one of the low points. Okay, so it's a little simple, but at the same time, because I'm stupid, I fuck it up a lot. You cannot mass produce. What I mean is that, like, let's say for example, I had it build this, all right, and I want it to build a second one, right? So I'm like, oh, I'll leave that there, and I'll build like 10 of them. So I click the button, and it will break down everything in this square to reap the benefits of the resources to build the next fucking thing. So do not forget that if you built yourself some ammo because you were desperately low and needed it, and then were dumb enough to leave it in there when you tried to build a second ammo, because that's what will happen to the second ammo, or to the first ammo. And the energy is, in fact, these batteries. Even though it's powered by the room, it requires those batteries to energy to build. So, you also need those energy to power this important room, and you also need that in order to power the navigation, jump drive, and bridge. So you need 3 separate batteries for those 3 separate rooms, each of which have to be left in that room, otherwise deactivates and is no longer working. I found out that the hard way. It doesn't tell you on your wrist, it tells you when you get to the bridge that one of the rooms is no longer active. Also got to keep breathing that good breath. So yeah, whenever you're done in a sector, like that little home sector I just showed you, I usually just pull all the batteries, close all the doors, and just leave it, because aside from a few resources that are also going to be present behind every other one of these doors, there's no reason to backtrack. You only need to backtrack to this central hub room, because this room leads to every other sector. It's only 4. Every other sector. Yeah, so if you don't have the key card, luckily it shows you on the wrist. That needs a red one. That one needs a green one. So we're going to pick one of these 2 white doors because they are already unlocked. Key cards usually are just found in the wild. However, if you have all of the blueprints like I do, you can actually get a master override key. But it takes all these resources, so you're still going to have to wander through a couple of these doors. So you might as well just find the key cards in the wild. Not the point. Alright, so that's the fabricator. It is a tremendous pain in the butt, but you can build all sorts of like handbag to carry more stuff, armor, your weapons, the ammunition, explosives, that teleporter I mentioned, which again should have just fast traveled you here, but I think it's literally designed to be thrown at enemies, not the point. Let's show you the enemies. Okay, so earlier I mentioned blueprints. You gotta find one of these data drives, and then find one of these data receivers, and you just slip it in there, and it'll either be a text document with lore, or a data document on a blueprint on how to build something that'll help you defend yourself. Fair warning, some of the monsters are a little gross to look at. This is one of the most common monsters you will find. He's very eyeball-y. Alright, this is another one. This one's a little less common, usually. Today, not so much. Today he's pretty fucking common. Another enemy you might face is a security drone. Or it might be just like a stationary little turret in the ceiling. But these guys are pains in the ass. They're a little bit armored, they take a few rounds, and they shoot. Fuck you. This enemy is fairly rare. You only usually see one or two of them tops and per round, and they have telekinesis. If we let this play out a little bit, yeah. These disgusting little bastards are a pain in the ass. They jump all over the place, and they hurt when they jump at you. Thankfully, they're weak. Usually one bullet, 2 arrows. It's not very much, puts them down. But they are disgusting to look at. I mean, look at that. Look at that. That. I do appreciate the monster designs, though, because, like, damn. You know, that's somewhere between, like, those hands in Elden Ring and some Cronenberg shit. And the final monster. The final enemy in general. These bastards are tough. They take almost a full clip of whatever you're carrying to kill, and on top of that, they teleport, and they fucking hit hard. They are like the second hardest hitting enemy in all of the game, and sometimes when you're shooting at them, they'll just teleport away. It's very at random. Sometimes it's in your favor, they'll teleport away from you, and they'll lose interest, and you can leave and regather your thoughts, or collect some ammo if you don't have any, what have you. Other times, though, fuck you over. Sometimes there's 2 of them, one will teleport right in front of you, like right here, and one right behind you, like right there, in one of those narrow little hallways, so you just fucked. It's happened a few times to me. Screw these bastards and every last disgusting bit of their design, especially those feet. Look at those feet, it's nasty. Terrible. I love the design of their monsters, though. Definitely fucking top quality. Play loop is very simple. You just power up the important rooms, like the navigation room, and the bridge, and yada yada. Footage not found. And try to avoid or kill the monsters. Previous footage. And yeah, your end goal is you set the coordinates for Earth, you engage the warp drive, and then you go to the bridge, and then you crank start the bridge and warp off to Earth, where you then get onto an escape ship and get the hell out of here. Yeah, we're done in this sector, so we're gonna start pulling these. Yeah, it's very simple. It's not a very complicated, complex, crazy game with like tremendous back lore, and that's honestly okay. I mean, like it's good at what it does. It provides an atmosphere where you're constantly like wandering through the dark, being like, please let this next room have light and not enemies. I'm down to my last 3 bullets. I'm not gonna survive another dark room. And then you open it up and it's another dark room and there's like 15 enemies and you're just sitting there like, well, shit. Yeah, and then, you know, usually once you've killed everything in an area, you can just pull these batteries and wander back to the home hub, where you've collected a crap load of garbage that you fed into a fabricator so that you could build yourself some weapons and or explosives or health or a cloaking device. You get the picture, right? But yeah, it's a simple game. This is the gameplay loop: is collect stuff, bring it here, build stuff, go to the next place, kill stuff, collect stuff, bring it back here, and eventually you get off of this thing. There's also every once in a while you can like catch a glimpse of this ever-present I do not remember that. I think because we're close to Halloween, they just shoved a jack-o'-lantern there, but normally it's like a giant monster. Anyway, it's a very simple game, pretty fun game. Hopefully you enjoy, and yeah, highly recommend it. Hope this helps, and have a happy Halloween.